All right, guys, it's that time of the year where these dang rib roasts, these things are on sale. I suggest you go out and stock up. Why do you need to stock up? Well, you can take these and you can make multiple things, okay? You can do cheesesteaks. You can do, take this and freeze it for a little bit, not much, until the meat's nice and firm, and you will be able to slice it really thinly with a nice sharp big knife. You can make steaks out of this, freeze them, have them for another day. Of course, there's prime rib, $6.99 a pound. So this, yeah, $6.99 a pound, and I mean, that's cheaper than flank steak. You know, so anyhow, just do it. You won't regret it. And then, you know, have one for Christmas or Thanksgiving or for the holidays, and then, you know, one for later. So, and look at that. I mean, it's pretty. So we're going to, oh, we don't need that on there. Several people, I don't know, it looks like they've already. Maybe not. Sometimes stores will go ahead, and they did. And I don't have any butcher's twine. They'll take and go ahead and cut these, and then they'll season the inside of that too. You know, do whatever you want. That way you can have seasoning here and you can season the bones. Look, we're doing quick and easy prime rib here, y'all. No frills edition, all right? And we're gonna cook it over on the pellet grill, pellet smoker, all right? Pellet, it's really a pellet grill. All we gotta do really is season this dude up. I'm glad you asked. I knew what you were wanting to know, how we were gonna season it. I'm gonna give you a little trick. This is what I like to do for my pellet grills, okay? Which will come here in a minute. Season liberally. If it's not tacky, add a little bit of binder. I'm not a fan of mini binders. If any, I like to just take just a little bit of water, okay? I feel like binders prevent seasoning from at least doing some kind of something, okay? Now, seasonings don't really penetrate meat. The only thing that penetrates meat, seasoning-wise, is salt, FYI. If you wanted a dry brine, I like to do that as well. Do a little teaspoon of salt per pound, stick it in the fridge, uncovered, for 24 hours. It'll come out, all this will be a lot more drier. You get a nice crust. We don't have time for that. We're going simple. People's gonna love this dang prime rib. I don't care what people say, all right? So just a little bit of water, just to tack up a little bit, and we're coming in heavy. I'm talking heavy. Heifer dust, asked for by name, and yeah, it's award winning too, all right? So we're coming in heifer dust, heavy on the heifer, all right? Heavy on the heifer. All sides, okay? Yes, sir, Bob. I can remember I used to work at the restaurant, seafood restaurant in Thomasville. The owners, they're Greek, beautiful family, and they would serve us prime rib for their holiday gathering or party. Also going to use some of this blackened steak seasoning from Blackstone. I really like what it does. And if I would stop leaving my seasonings outside whenever I'm done with them, that would be awesome. Today, I'm by myself. There's no Jacob. I don't know where he's at. I don't know. I think he might be in jail or something. I don't know. Ain't no telling on that boy. He's loose. He is loose. Loose cannon. Here we go. Liberally with this Blackstone blackening steak seasoning. Now, this is optional. I like to take a little bit of brown sugar. I like a little sweet, okay? I don't know why, but this is optional. It's gonna give a nice little crust too. It'll caramelize. A little sweet, little bit of sweet, okay? Now, just roll it around. Really wanna make sure our sides and the fat cap are nicely covered in seasoning, okay? Like I said, you want to cut those, cut that string off and then go in between those bones, go right ahead. I don't feel like tying a darn knot. I don't feel like tying string again, okay? Let's head over to the smoker. All right, one thing I also want to introduce to you is how am I going to keep track with what the temperature is. I want to use the new RFX from Thermoworks. As you know, I'm a Thermoworks fan. Been with them for a long time. They make really, really good products. And this is the meat probe here, and it will measure this meat all the way through the process. Yes, I could use the ones with the pellet grill. However, it's wired and I can't take it everywhere. I like to know after I take this off the pit, you know, I want to make sure I know what this is. There's a little line right there. You want to make sure you insert it in and go all the way to the line. There's several sensors in that probe where it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it averages just to make sure you get the exact temperature, and it's very accurate. Best on the market, in my opinion. As you can see, the smoker is not on. That's by design, all right? And I want it not on because I want that initial smoke to kind of goes out on these grills, okay, when they first start up. And so I'm going to put bone side down. That's going to be a protection. And if it does get kind of hot right in here, you got those bones as protection and it won't mess up your meat. So there we go. If you notice, there's a wired probe here, and that does connect into our RFX. It is not wireless. Some people might think that's kind of crazy, but honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. If you think of a smoker and your ambient thermocouple is at the end of this and it's up against, say, this, it's kind of tough, especially if you got it in a pot or a pan. I mean, the cool thing about the RFX is you can submerge it in water, you can submerge it in sous vide, you can fry with it, all of the above. So yeah, the wired thermometer doesn't hurt me a bit. All right, we're going to close this up. I'm going really low and slow here, y'all. I'm talking 200 degrees. I really want this thing to go low and slow. What's helpful about that, here's my pellets, is it'll be medium rare, top to bottom, when it goes really, really low and slow. It'll be more tender. If you go at a higher temperature, what happens is you start to get banding on the top or bottom, or maybe even both, or even around. So you have a gray band, and then like a medium rare, and then a gray band. If you go nice, low, and slow, don't have to worry about it. So 200 degrees, I'm going to check it about an hour and see where it's at, and I'll bring you in as well. All right, pellets. These are the pellets. I like these Bear Mountain. I think this is called Chef's Choice. It's got hickory, cherry, oak, and maple. Very, very good. I love the hickory and the cherry, as well as the maple gives a little bit of a sweetness to it. For me, that's kind of what I'm going with these days. Nice little blend. So I'm going to go through and program my RFX meat. So this is the thermometer here, and this is probe is what I got it at. I'm going 120 for the high. That's about where I want it to be pulled so I can sear it. So I'm going to save that. All pretty cool there how you can, I mean, there's all kinds of other ways you can do. So the gateway right now is telling me my pit's 52 degrees and a high of 250 and a low of 150, which is perfect. We really don't want to go over 250 degrees. All right, see y'all in about an hour. All right, at the hour mark, you can see about where we're at right now. Everything's just looking real good. Graph's looking really nice, trending upwards. Also going to go up a little tick on our smoker. We're going to 225 now. We're about 2.5 hours in. Let's take a look at our, looking really good. The exterior's drying out real nice. I'm just going to flip it over, or not flip it over, I'm just going to turn it. But man, it's starting to look real good. This right here is just a little bit of spray. Just want to keep everything kind of moist. While our prime rib is getting happy in there, it's about, I'd say about halfway there, maybe a little bit longer. We're gonna make horseradish sauce. I love a horseradish sauce. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make our own homemade horseradish sauce, a little horsey sauce. We're gonna start out with a little bit of sour cream. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of this Duke's mayonnaise. Got some of this Silver Spring that I haven't opened. Yeah, okay. There we go. Little Silver Spring horseradish. Give me a fork. Little fork. I like making my own just because I just think it tastes good. And we're just gonna mix that really well. And you can adjust it to kind of your liking. Okay. Now, I like to add a little bit of heifer dust to mine. That's your seasoning. It's got all that kind of good stuff. Got your salt, got your pepper, got a little beef base in it. That's already pretty good. Now, you can either add regular sugar or you can just do some powdered sugar. Or not powdered sugar, but brown sugar. I like the brown sugar. Kind of gives it another little richness. Got that molasses in it. The horseradish is kind of hot to it. Then to get the sweet from the brown sugar, this is going to go really good. So there we go. Horseradish sauce. Get ready. I'm ready for that sucker to be done because I am hungry. With that horseradish sauce, what do we need now? We need an au jus. Now, you can buy your au jus, or you can make some. You can do some beef broth. What I have been using here, this is beef base. Just really, really good. It's like concentrated beef. And I'll just dilute that with a little bit of water. And what I'm wanting to do here is I want to stick this into the smoker. And I wish I had enough room up top where I can, you know, put the prime rib up top and have this on the bottom. I guess I could let, you know, cradle it in there with like a, you know, like a rib rack or something like that, but I don't know if I have anything quite like that. Look at this right here. I got one, y'all. So we just want to mix this up, and you want to adjust. Put a little bit of heifer in there. Could use a little bit more. This stuff goes a long way. So it's kind of give it a little bit of a grilly, little smoky flavor to it. And then we're actually gonna put the prime rib, you know, over top of it. Should be good. Should be real good. A little bit of those drippings. Yeah, boy. Let's go over to the smoker. Let me see. This thing might collapse, actually. Now that I'm thinking about this a little bit more. Might not. It's close. There we go. And put that right there. There we go. Now, let's see what we got. I'll spritz this one more time. A little bit of spray. We're gonna have some lovely prime rib in hopefully in about an hour or so. We'll see. We're bumped it up to 250 degrees. We're at 87.6 degrees internal. I'm not sure why, but I feel like I can always get prime rib done in like 1 hour. 4 hours later, we're at 123 internal. So there you have it. Let's go over to the smoker. Ooh, look at all that glory. Oh, it's not hot. It's not hot. Wait, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Stupid. It was really stupid. Our juice, I'm not doing it this time. Not doing it. We'll put our juice right here. Right there. Whoop. No. Tell you what, I'm gonna put it right there on our griddle. Right there. All right. Well, we got our prime rib. It's done. We're not completely done. We're gonna sear it off on a Blackstone on the griddle top to really finish it off, really get a nice crust. And then we're gonna cut into this dude. We're gonna give it a try. It's dark. It's gonna be awesome. Our Blackstone, we're up to 400, almost 500 degrees. That's perfect. I'm not even gonna put any oil down. I am just going to, see a little bit of fat right there. We're gonna put this fat cap down first. Just gonna hold that there for a little bit. Looking for a good crust here. Now I'll tell you what. Remember that string? Let's just go ahead and cut it and I'll show you. What that string does, it helps keep it tight together and it cooks a lot more evenly. Use that to floss later. What you're left with is these bones, like that. Put those down right there. Woo, look at that crust right there. Yeah, baby. And now, you see that's where those bones were. We're just gonna put a crust on that. All right, let's go over to this other side. Woo. Oh yeah. Got some good flavor. We got our juice. It's over here. Can't really see it. Got it right there. Woo-wee. Oh yeah. Guys, I'm ready to give this a try. Check out that new Valhalla series from Dow Strong. Woo boy. Look at this bone. I should save some for Maggie Grill, but I too like the bone. Have a little bitesy. Oh man, these right here are backbones. You see them in the store? They come from this ribeye. Oh man, that's so tender, so flavorful. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. That is so good. Let's get our stuff over here. It's kind of boiling a little bit. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go right down the center. All right. Oh, my word. Look at that. Dang it, boys and girls. Look at that sucker. Top to bottom, medium rare. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good night in the mornings. It's time to give this a try. Let's give it a try. I'm tired of messing around. Let's give this a try. Love this new knife. Kind of come across that spinalis right there. The best part. Let's give it a try. It's so tender. What I also like, it has that crust on it. Oh man. The heifer dust and that blackening season, so good. Some of that au jus. Oh man, that's so good too. Horseradish, amazing. Let's give this a try. I mean, that cuts like butter. You see that? Ooh. That's amazing. Y'all, this is simple. 4 hours, give or take. If you go 250, you know, a little bit less. I like to really start out low and then just start bringing it up gradually, but I highly suggest giving this a try. I think you will love it. And also, buy up all those roasts. Maggie, hush. See here, I got a bone somewhere. Here, girl. Buy up those roasts, save them, cause, you know, cheesesteaks, all that kind of stuff. Hey, thanks for watching. Love you. Tell me what you think about that, son.
It's good.
What do you think?
Good.
Good? Tell the cameras.
Where?
Right there. What is that?
Steak.
Steak? Is it, what kind of stuff is it? Like good? Good? Groceries? You want another piece? Yeah? Okay. I'll get you another piece. You want a bigger piece or you like that? You kind of like that?
Bigger.
Bigger? You want kind of like that? Or you want it bigger?
Bigger.
You want it like a chunk? Like I normally chunk it for you for your dinner? There you go. All right, y'all. It's been real.